Morning, everybody. I'm back. Sorry about my little hiatus. Friday didn't know that I had to go into work, and then that was a last minute thing, and then I had vacation, so I wasn't able to update anybody of that. But I'm back. 8:15, 6:28, June 28th. Markets pulled back, but then had a little bit of a short covering rally yesterday. We got Powell up today. We got a bunch of news going. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. My name's Steven Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. Using volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market to give us an extra edge on the market and how we look at it and potential scenarios. Use supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, fibs, to just come up with a plan and to basically look for where there's confluence in the market. And it's your first time, hope you find some stuff that's insightful that I'm going to talk about. And of course, as always, subscribe, set an alert. That'd be great. As always, give me a big thumbs up, a like. That would help me out very much. As always, you can follow me on Twitter, Gonzo719. You can also follow me on Instagram, Gonzo719 Jersey. And we can get right into the watch list here. We've got Powell at 9:30. So let's get into this. All right, so we got the VIX. I mean, Powell's going to talk. So VIX is only at 0.44%. It's down to 13.8. The dollar is up slightly, 0.36. People are buying bonds this morning. 30-year bonds up 0.34. 10-year yield doesn't report to 820, so we'll see that in a little bit. The Dow's flat. The Russell's down 0.18. ES is down 0.20. Nasdaq's down 0.38. Gold is down 0.40. Crude is down 0.5. Silver's down almost 1%. Bitcoin's down 1.34 and Ether's down 1.87. Let's move on. Here's the stocks that I like to trade. Okay, Netflix. Netflix is up 1.68%. Let's see here. Okay. I don't have anything on Netflix for now. Um, Boeing. Boeing's got torn down back to a range now, but it's up 1.23%. All right, Tesla's up 0.52%. Tesla actually got a downgrade today. Snow's got a bunch of price target raises today, so that's up 0.27. Microsoft, and we'll go down to any laggards today. Let's see. Baba's down 1.43%. Coin's down 2.3%. AMD is down 3%. Nvidia is down 3.64%. I'm sure everyone's heard. Possible ban on semis going to China. It's taking that down. That's also, I believe that news came out in September as well. So that's hurting semis today. Google got a downgrade today as well. So that is down 0.62. Okay. Moving on. Let's look at some top sector stocks. Disney is getting a little bit of love, up 0.31, but we're going to go down to the laggards. And we have Roblox down 0.36, and we have Qualcomm, no surprise there, with semis down 1.24. All right, let's move on. Sectors. I wouldn't call that a leader, but industrials up 0.06. And we have staples followed by technology down 0.4, and semis obviously down 1.56. No surprise there. All right, let's get into some news. Let's see what's on the docket for today. We do have Powell speaking. Powell speaks at 9:30 a.m. Okay, Okay, so obviously the market's going to be hearing that. He also speaks tomorrow at 2:30 a.m. Hmm. I want 2:30 a.m. tomorrow, huh? All right. We have today. What do we have? Retail inventories, wholesalers. All right. Good trades balance. Nothing too crazy at 8:30. That's going to drop. Really, Fed Powell's talking. Bank stress test today at 4:30 p.m. Interesting to see how that goes. Okay. Um, we have some news. I mean, let's see here. Nvidia. This is really news of the morning. Nvidia hit by reports of China export curbs. So that's basically what's going on there. Taking down the semis. Let's see if there's anything else that's dropped since. Not really. I mean, the only other thing I'm seeing here is Goldman Sachs is saying the United States might not experience a recession, but we may experience a period of 0 to 1% growth and 4% inflation. I also saw from Citibank, they have a target of 4,000 for the end of the year, and they're saying that's not overly bearish. They're just saying that people should be in equities. So that's very interesting from Citibank. Let's see this calendar. Anything else for today? Not really. I mean, obviously the big thing is Powell today. Big thing is Powell today. You probably go slide right into those daily charts. All right, let's look. So, SPY. Let's see here. Ran all the way up to 443, and we had some gap down, meaningful pullbacks, right? Gonna almost hit this 20 simple moving average right here. And then yesterday, you got to push up higher, right? Some people saw that as a pullback, right? And then you took out these last 2 days, found resistance at this high. Okay, where's price now? 435.44. So we're at the top of the range of yesterday. Okay, the semi news is causing some weakness. Okay, let's look at the bigger picture of the weeklies. So, had that run up a couple weeks ago. Last week, inside week, right? And now we're kind of inside last week's, at the midpoint of last week's candles. So we're balancing here. You can see the monthlies. This month's a very bullish month. But let's look at the profile for the SPY. This profile obviously is the last month. We're right at the most traded price of the month, 436. Okay, so this has been the most traded price over the last month. No surprise here that we're balancing here, and you'll see this also in the futures. So no surprise that we're balancing here at all. Okay, you can see this is the most traded price of the previous week, the most traded price of the week before, and this week is right back here. Hence why it's the most traded price of the month. So very key level 436. We're just right in the middle of it. So what is the market going to do with this? Don't know, but whenever you're in this big balance area, we're going to get a big breakout eventually. That's what's going to happen. This is how the market works. All right, let's look at the Qs. All right. That is not a daily chart. Okay. So the Qs, same thing. Let's look at this little move here. So the Qs actually did close below the 20 simple moving average. Okay, they closed below the 20 simple moving average, and they have like this triple top here. It's causing resistance right here. We can actually put that. It's a nice little level on the charts here. right there. Boom. 364.57, I would say that's a nice resistance line. You also have this too, but this is pretty much a triple top here in the daily candles. No surprise why you got resistance here. Okay, there's some key levels I can go over in the Nasdaq, and I will. But got to pull back, right? But see, the Nasdaq did not take out the previous 2 days highs like the SPY did, so very interesting there. Let's go to the weeklies, and big move up, and we're kind of like in a little bit of a downtrend. Okay, monthlies, big move up. I talked about this big resistance area of 369. We did peep above it, and we're holding under it with this excess here. Okay, and here's the profile. Most traded price of the last month 354, but we're building a lot of volume here. Okay, so no surprise we're here. Okay, this can overtake this. Let's see if it does. Okay, moving on to the Dow. Okay, Dow is at the most traded price of the rolling year. So 337, right? This is that big level, keeps coming back to. See, kind of moved up, and where do you go? You come right back to value, right? That's how this works. So we'll zoom into the Dow. So Dow went all the way up here around 345, gap down, held it, sold off pretty hard, hit the 50-day moving average right here, bounced off of it, took out the last 2 days with yesterday, hit the 8 EMA daily, and where's the Dow right now? 339.25. So it's like at the top of the range. It's at the top of the range. Let's look at the weeklies. This is just, you can see, this is just a huge area for the Dow. It's just been consolidating at this area, no surprise. Okay, you can see by the months, it's just, that's why it's the most traded price of the last year. We're just in this range. Okay, and no surprise here with the most traded price of the month as well. So SPY and the Dow are pretty much setting up for a big move. When does that happen? We don't know, but it will. Okay, so let's go to the Russell. All right, so the Russell had a nice little run up, right, and then it had a pretty big pullback. So big move up, consolidated in this range. I talked about this range, and then boom, broke out of that range. Hit the 100-day moving average. 200-day moving average was support. Took out the last 2 days of selling, right? So the three indexes, the SPY, the Dow, and the Russell, took out the last 2 days of selling. The Nasdaq did not. Okay, the Nasdaq did not. So it's a little bit of the weaker one for now. Okay, so let's look at the weeklies. All right, you can see that the Russell hit the 10-week EMA. That's been supportive. Okay, and you can just see this large area that we just dropped, and we're holding this large area lower in the monthlies. Here's the profile. Now, I said before I had to go to work and take vacation that this area needed to hold or it's going to break, right? So it broke. Boom. Came all the way down to the previous month's highs, and then it got bought up, right? But look, we're probably going to return to 185 here, most traded price of the last month. And it has a bullish imbalance, right? It has a lot of volume up here. So you got big volume right here at the last month's highs, right there. And now you've had it's been defended. So that's a pretty key level right there. I would say 180.57. Okay, 180.57. So now we're back. We can go right into the triple headed monster, talk about that. Let's look at this bond market. Made a move up. Made a move up. We're in this range in the 10-year yield. Bond market doesn't know what it wants. It's just in this range. Okay. Now we're in. Let's look at the VIX. Actually, the VIX is kind of like very complacent. Very complacent here. We made a low of 12, and it's just been complacent here. 15 is still the level if you're going to get any kind of selling in this market. Okay, let's look at that dollar. Dollar's been bouncing around. Okay, came all the way down, came all the way up, came all the way down. Now this dollar is getting a little bid today, but kind of, like everything else, doesn't know what it wants. But the bond market, right? That's usually the smart money. Have to see what turns out with that. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to the market profile, and you can see what I've been talking about. All right. So very easily, this is why I love my the way I have my setting up on the market profile. Is right away we can see right here, most traded price of the last month. No surprise, right? That's where the market is. That's the beauty of those levels. Is I know that's the most traded price of the last month. Right there, right? What's that price? 44.15. So we're just in big balance area. Okay, we made a run up from balance, came right back to balance is where we made the run from, right? No surprise there. That's how the market works. Okay, most traded price of the week is down here, and that is 43.85. Okay, so we could do a little ping pong action in here in between these levels. Okay, we could do a little ping pong action. So we have to look at that. So now we have that. We have our profile for the week. It's kind of got a bearish imbalance to the downside, but we're overall in balance because the most powerful level is the most traded price of the month. That's more powerful than the most traded price of the week. So we're holding that level, and that just means that a big move is going to happen soon. Okay, we need to break out of this. Can Powell do that today? Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so let's look at our relationship of yesterday's range to the overnight. Got yesterday's high, yesterday's low. We got the overnight high, got the overnight low. Okay, we're inside yesterday's range. Here's the 50% of yesterday's, the midpoint, holding above that. Okay, but we're in between these big major levels. Can Powell get us out of that? It's not the best area. It's basically setting up for an inside out trade. Are we going to go there and bounce up? Are we going to go maybe here, go back in the middle? Who knows? Who knows? But that's what it's like setting up. There's not a lot of edge to this right now. Okay, you almost 100% net short, but it doesn't matter. We're right in the middle of the range of the overnight. That's not edge either. Okay. The only thing you can say is, would this move up when we hit monthly VWAP, which is right here, monthly VWAP 43.76, we pushed off of that, has some single prints on the run up. Okay, but we're holding yesterday's prices, so that is bullish in the short term. Okay, you're holding yesterday's prices. The market's telling you that they're accepting these prices. This is called acceptance, right? But we're right at this big level, and we have supply zones right above us. Okay, I'm going to give you the 60-minute chart just to give you some levels in a little bit. Okay, so really this is like called an inside out trade. Can we break this big level and move higher? And there's a lot of supply, overhead supply, so that's going to be a tough move, but it could happen, right? Or do we take us back down to the most traded price of the week and we test out this demand zone in monthly VWAP? And do we go this way? That's the question, right? And also, do we just bounce in between these levels when Powell's talking? He talks tomorrow too, so it's this could be tricky, right? Okay. So now that I have that, pretty easily you can come up with basically a plan. We're in a range, guys and girls. We're in a range, right? So here's a range. Pretty easy range here. Right here and right here. That's our playground. Okay? So if that's our playground, we're going to talk about scenarios, okay? So let's talk about what those bulls got to do. Okay? So we're right here now. This is a little nuanced. This is a 45-degree angle. 45-degree line. Whenever you get to have this, that means shorts are getting bad location, right? They keep getting bought up. So that's a little bit of a bullish thing. Okay? But you have this big level in supply. So this is really hard. Okay? So what I would, if for the bullish scenario, right? You want to see it break this level, and you'd have to see it break these supply zones and maybe test this high, and then you possibly can make a move higher. Okay? That's what I see. And then bearish scenario, you want to hold under this big level. So breakthrough, right? You got single prints here. Can we go down here? Okay. And what happens when we get down here? Do we hold this monthly VWAP in demand, or do we break it and break this range and we start going lower? That's the question, right? And we also could do door number 3, which is price stays in the middle here. Okay. Now also, when you're in balance, there's always the outside in trade. There's always playing the edges, right? Until we break out. So obviously, another play here is if you go to this right here, around 44.27, that's the edge of this range, right? Well, if we can't break out, we're gonna go back and probably go back to this range, to the other end of balance, right? And then there's the question of, well, if we can't break out of that range at the top and we can't break out of the bottom, that's a good buy point to go back to the other side of the range, right? That's balance rules. Okay, so that's really scenarios today. Do we break out? Do we stay in the range? That's the question. We're at a big balance point. Okay, we're at a big balance point. All right, so moving on. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Let's look at our levels, right? So the NASDAQ's level is right here. Most traded price of the month's right there. That price is 150.60, 150.60. That's a big level, right? It's the most traded price of the last month. So very in balance, right? Very, very much in balance. And now the most traded price of the week is right here. They're clustered together. Okay, so that's even more balancy. That's about 150.120. Okay, so you have a huge balance going on in NASDAQ. NASDAQ is really coiling. All right, and that just means that a big move's coming up or down. Don't know what that's going to be yet. Okay, don't know what that's going to be yet. So let's look at the relation of yesterday and the overnight, right? So we got the lows of yesterday, the highs. Look where the high went, right at the most traded price of the week. No surprise there. Look what price is holding, right at the most traded price of the month. Okay, so again, yesterday's high, yesterday's low, overnight high, overnight low. We're almost 100% net short, but that doesn't matter because we're in the middle of the range. Okay, price is right here. So there's, the only thing you can look at is say, if the NASDAQ accepting these higher prices, the close is here. Okay, this is bullish. Now we're at a big balance point. So this is the tipping point, right? Big moves coming from here. We're going to go this way or we're going to go this way. So you have a more clear balanced area in the NASDAQ, just because the most traded price of the week and the month are more closer together. Still in balance in the yes. But you can see that there's a clear little tiny mini range here. Okay. Where's that range? Right here and right here. And you can see what's going to happen to the upside. It's very clear. Very, very clear. There's shorts all up in here that have not got hurt yet. Okay. We have longs down here that have not gotten broken. So that's the range. Okay. So if we're going to look at some type of scenarios, right? We have it, right? We have it. And it's either going to play inside the range or we're going to break out. Okay, so the real nice breakout level, obviously it's very easy to see, is can we make a move up? And I would want, what you'd want to see as a bullish scenario is us to break that range and hold it, and then we could possibly go back up to this next level. Okay, and you see what you do with this level, and this could possibly fuel the move, and that was the dip to buy, right? Or, right, because price is here. Okay, you need to get over these levels. However, if price can't get over these levels and you start to go below and hold below these, well, then that makes these single prints susceptible, and we could fall right back to the other side of range and this demand zone. Now, obviously, either this gets bought up or it's the break. Okay, that's the break. Now, of course, if the range holds, well, that's pretty clear, right? You play the outs, you play the edges, right? If we come up to this edge and you can't move much higher, we're going to go back to the other end of balance, right? Just like the ES. Same thing here. If we come down and even if we break this demand, but we hold these lows, even if we dip into here, that could be the move that goes back to the other side of balance, and we balance. That's really what's going on right now. Okay? So I'm really looking at this level. If I want to look long, to break out, break that supply zone, hold it, and that could fuel the move higher. Okay? That could fuel the move higher. So let's get into a couple things I'm just looking at really quickly. And this is very clearly illustrated here, okay? Most traded price of the last month is here. Most traded price of the last 2 weeks is here. So 44.15, you can see why that level is so important. Where are we now? We're right by it. We're right here. So we're going to do this or this. Okay, that's clearly lined out here. Just wanted to point that out. NASDAQ. Okay, I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see it. Okay, so here's the NASDAQ, right? So most traded price right here, right here, price is here. So the last 2 weeks, most traded price is here. So we're at this big node here, and we're going to either go back to this most traded price of the month right here, and these are a little different because I track the MNQ and this is the NQ. So sometimes they're a little different, but that's fine. Still gives us an area, right? Or we're going to go here, back up to the highs. And if we can't hold this level, we're going to test this big support level here. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm going to give you here the hourly charts. And just to show you certain things, I'm looking at the hourly charts. Give me one sec while I pull that up for you guys. I think this is pretty good way to look at it with the candlesticks. And you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so these are our hourly charts. All right, and what am I seeing? Okay, so what I have here is clearly, you guys watch me, you see this turquoise box, that's the most traded price of the month. That's right there, that's the most traded price of the week. We have two key levels, okay, that I have it mapped out. So here's 44.24. That's been resistance here, right? That's part of the top of the range. Okay, and you can see this key support that was held, finally broke, and now we're above that. So this 43.84 was support. We dipped under it and we came back, right? And lastly you want to look at is I have a fib from these highs all the way down to this low, right? So the 50% Fibonacci is 44.31 of this move, right? So this has been resistance 3 times now. Once, twice, 3 times. Okay, this is the ES. Okay, so 44.31 also lines up with these supply zones. So can the market come up here, and what does it do when it hits this 50% Fibonacci? Does it roll over, or is it the move up, right? That's why this is so key to look at the candlestick as well. So hope everybody sees that. And now we'll look at the Nasdaq. Okay, you can see this one. All right, so here's the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has some key levels, right? So right here, this has been resistance. Well, it was resistance here, and resistance here, 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 here. So that's 15139. Right above that is the 50% Fibonacci from this move down. Okay, and that's 15164. So that's why this level, okay, here's our most traded price of the week, here's our most traded price of the month. Price is right here. If this breaks this, that's what I was talking about before, because you're going to break these big levels and this big resistance level and the 50% Fibonacci. If you do this and you come back, this could be the move up higher. Okay, same way on the other way, right? What you had here was key support. Now this level was very key. I'm going to back it up a little bit here. Is you had support here, right? Then you had support here, and then it finally was broken. This 149.70 was finally broken here. Where did you hit? 148.66. This bounced, right? Came up, came right back down here, and then that's when it got bought up right to that level, right? And now we're at the most traded price of the last month. So that's what I'm saying. Either we do this or do this. Okay? Showed you in a couple different ways. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Alright, so that's going to be it for me today. Wish everybody luck. Powell talking 9:30. I'm not sure how much we're going to move down, up, what's he's going to say. But obviously, if he does say something to note, we're going to break out some way. And people, the shorts are going to get hurt, longs are going to hurt. Very interesting to see. So I wish everybody good luck. If you don't hear from me, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Okay? Take it easy, guys.